on the question of pain. For the past few days, I have been sitting with both my pain and my patterns of avoidance of pain. Witnessing how these, each in their own ways, are deeply woven into more or less fundamental aspects of my being. If you have been following this channel, you know I've been doing a week-long challenge, and just because I haven't posted about it does not mean it has been out of my realm, out of my life. So, Sunday and Monday I haven't talked about yet, and those are the sun and the moon, and both of those placements are not only in Scorpio for me, they are in my 9th house, and they are conjunct, superimposed upon me. Scorpio is a sign that travels into the deepest depths, where the underworld and Hades dwell, where the deepest pains of humanity dwell, and does the alchemical work of transmuting and restoring that darkness, that primordial darkness of the womb, into the creation of life, into the transmutation of the scorpion into an eagle and a phoenix. Such that in sitting with my pain, I have been facing the question of how my purpose, not just like my temporary purpose, but my grand mission, my life's purpose, my soul's calling, what God placed me here to do, in some sense, seems to be concealed on the other side of these deep pains, which I carry within my heart, within my body, within my soul, within my breaths, within my being. And not only that, but my purpose seems to present itself to the extent and to the degree that I am willing to confront willfully my pain and make space to not psychoanalyze my pain, not simply look at my pain, not peer with piercing eyes into my pain, but simply to allow it to be felt within my being. And to sit and witness, sit with and witness the ways in which I wish to avoid my pain, the patterns which are at the root of my wanting to avoid my pain. What is that? What part of me has created that pattern? Because it's still me. It's something I've been contending with for my whole entire life. Deep. Since I was a kid. And it doesn't just belong to me, it belongs to all of humanity, it seems. because we all have all of these mechanisms in place to protect us from our own pains. Even the most enlightened of us, even the brightest, even the richest, even the most well-off, so to speak, so that the past few days I have been invited to feel my pain, to feel the avoidance of my pain, and to truly, with my free will, bring a far deeper prioritization of my exploration of my pain in order to then find the purpose which I feel myself to be lacking in my life, illusorily. All of this is coming, if you are new here, or if you haven't been following that closely, during a week-long challenge where I am following the deities and luminaries of each day. Monday is the moon, Tuesday is Mars, Mercury is Wednesday, Thursday is Jupiter, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Venus, Saturn, Sun. And ironically, this is going to sound like a tangent, but it's not. So I was planning for the week to look a particular way, but then I was offered this egregious pain in my ear, which completely prevented healthy sleep and also invoked within me all of my patterns of pain avoidance, so that the work of working with these luminary energies within the days for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and now Tuesday have invited and invoked the question of that pain and that pain's avoidance as like, hey, if you want to have this willful, free will, salvatory resurrection process, you're going to have to confront the depth of your pain, and you're going to have to confront how that pain comes from your inability to listen when you are stuck in your mind, in your masculine side of your body. My right ear is my masculine side, and so my masculine side essentially blocked itself out and said to me, all you have is your feminine side. You think you have willpower, that goes out the window. How can you feel? How can you listen with your heart? So that one of the deeper discoveries that I've made on this journey, that I am making on this journey, is that when I tune in to my inner flame and inner fire of absolute insurmountable force of will and willpower and the masculine discipline, get shit done kind of energy, there is a screaming necessity within my life to direct that masculine energy towards the creation of feminine containers to connect with more deeply, with my emotions, with my heart, with my pain. With the asterisk and with the divinely guided understanding that it is within that pain and on the other side of that pain that this purpose, which I am like fighting for my life to find, is actually on the other side of that pain and within that pain itself. I just remembered something. Maybe I'll make a video about it some other time. I will touch upon it. But this is now clicking in my life story and myth. One of the first and most profound mystical experiences that I had in my life, I felt and witnessed with my crying eyes at a sound healing session in the Redwoods the entire infinite stream of samsara, interconnected consciousness of all beings, that consciousness itself, flowing with this divine motherly essence of healing through my eyes as I'm crying these tears of self-liberation and apotheosis, telling me at a time when I was drinking a ton in my life, do you not see the pain that you're inflicting upon yourself? And thus do you not see the pain that you are inflicting on all of creation, because you are all of creation, you are all of samsara. But it's okay. Because you have free will. And you have an ability to simply say no to all of the ways in which you inflict pain upon yourself. Some part of me is like, well, if it was truly that easy, I'd be good by now. Anyway, that's a far deeper story. I feel like I didn't tell it in a way that does it justice in any way. Maybe in some way. But it is deeply enmeshed, and it feels like the invitation here that I am receiving through guidance from my higher self and God in my heart is to maintain the strength of willpower, the masculine charge, the luminary arrow of Sagittarius. But don't forget the scorpionic depths of emotional pain, of emotions in general, and of emotional pain. And don't forget that these things are fundamental, and that with your willpower and with your purpose and with your vision, with my willpower and purpose and vision, I can't just skip over the pain. I can't just pretend like I don't have trauma that remains unaddressed within my body. I can't just pretend like the crippling pain of existential dread does not bother me, does not affect me, does not weigh me down, does not weave certain hesitancies and fears as I share the truth of myself and allow it to break open the cocoon of my being. The pain is the cocoon, and in some sense, there is a necessity of willful harmonization and sort of a loving unraveling of the cocoon in order for the butterfly of my soul to then break free from its pain by feeling it. And to realize that all along, the pain itself was merely a symptom of my rebirth, of my angelic wings unfurling, of my transformation, willfully choosing to renounce those parts of my pain to which I cling, because they give some semblance of security and comfort in the fact that I am used to them. That I am comfortable in them. That I have built illusory safety within them. But when that safety begins to crumble and the pain begins to break through that illusory nature, then once more I am left to feel the pain. And so, today is Tuesday, Mars, Sagittarius, 11th house. Mars, today I felt within me, in spite of the fact that I have been drowning in my own doldrums and self-negation and self-abnegation and evasion of responsibility and avoidance of my pain and the feeling of lack and worthlessness that comes with that, and truly like the detrimental effect of sleep deprivation that I've been imposing upon myself. Parenthetically, whenever I get like any slight semblance of sickness, such as an ear infection, I use it as an excuse to be like, oh, well, might as well not care about anything at all. Might as well just fucking lie in bed all day and watch movies and like pretend like I am in a cave avoiding myself for eternity. Which is an embodiment that I need to fucking heal. Mars energy. This drive, which is coming as I'm finally starting to hear. Even in this video, my ear popped and I can start to hear just a little bit more. And so as I come back into homeostasis, into harmonious balance within my being, and I'm able to listen with both sides of my being, and I'm able to be fully present in the world in a way that doesn't feel like, what? Where am I? Half inside my head, half like kind of listening. Very strange experience, very unpleasant, very strange again. So I come into this next week of transformation with this renewed reinvigoration of my will towards with the discovered knowing that the priority, as I weave the fire of that will into intentional containers for my self-discovery and my purification and my healing and discovery of my purpose, that it is of paramount importance. It is absolutely essential for me to create containers to feel my pain, to build a relationship with my pain. which dwells primarily within my heart. Also, to bring a deeper awareness to the ways in which I wish to avoid my pain, which are actually quite deeply rooted in a way that is very clearly ancestral on both sides of my familial bloodlines, and which is a deeply human problematic, I will say. Not necessarily a problem, but problematic, as in the philosophical question of like, this is a problematic axiom within the metaphysical questioning of philosophy itself. The ways in which all human beings, so many human beings, reach out to screens and to food and to substances and to drugs and to sex, all of these things to avoid their own pains, to distract themselves from their own pains, to avoid the confrontation of their own pains, and to replace them with things that feel good, with things that are pleasurable, to avoid pain in search of pleasure, however fleeting those pleasures might be. A universal human question. So I'm not alone in facing this question, and I'm not facing it alone. And yet I face it within myself with the intention of recognizing myself facing it for the collective. And I offer these reflections and facing of these microcosmic shadows so that you might find resonance with them. Not to there's also the energetic work of like, as human microcosms, we go into the entire universe which exists within our bodies, and we like clear away the bullshit and heal so that the primary work is done energetically, and then the ripples emanate, and then the inspirational mirrors that might come when you see that you are on a similar path in your journey, and then whatever tool that I somehow am going through and I like say something and it helps you, that is part of the work as well. And that is part of the rippling collective field work, let us say. Wherein I want to emphasize that if these words resonate with you, if you find yourself traversing similar depths, know that you are not alone. And know that this work that you are doing within yourself is of tremendous importance for the collective. It is of tremendous importance for yourself. It is of tremendous importance for your family, past, present, and future, for your ancestry and for your progeny. It is of tremendous importance for God, even though God is immutable and completely perfect and unscathed by anything that we do. Still, He wants us to do this. So, if you are going through this, just know it matters. It matters deeply. And if no one ever gives you credit for it, if no one ever says anything to you about it, if no one ever notices, even though that's not what's going to happen, people are going to notice and they're going to feel it, because you're going to transform into who you most truly are, and you're going to find your way into service to God, and then God will guide your life into the abundance of who you are, which will be a life of magic, as opposed to all of the programming and conditioning and smallness which is imposed upon us by the neo-colonial techno fucking hive mind and all that. it matters. It matters. You are not alone. And if anything, I am cheering you on. And I'm always here. You can like reach out to me and you can ask me questions. And tell me where you're at. And I'm happy to help in any way that I can. That said, one of the patterns that I'm facing in myself is that when I receive messages, sometimes it takes me a while to get back. So if you ever do message me, I'll make an effort to be responsive, but it might take a moment. Okay, I believe that's it. I believe the words came through, and I'm grateful for the process. Thank you for witnessing me in the process. This has been tremendously helpful for me, and I hope to alchemize it into something that is tremendously helpful for the world and for any individual who might find it helpful in their lives. That's it. Thank you. And you find deep blessings, prosperity, abundance, feel your pain, and find your apotheosis on the other side of that pain. Thank you.